What if I told you there's a way to completely transform your home in just 3 days? It sounds impossible, but it's not. Have you ever noticed how much stuff we accumulate over the years that there comes a point when we can't even find what we're looking for anymore? Overflowing drawers, overflowing closets, that corner of the house that's become a storage space. All of this weighs you down, tires you out, and makes life more complicated than it needs to be. The problem isn't just the physical mess, it's the mental weight it brings. Each forgotten object is a decision you postponed, a memory that insists on staying, maybe I'll use this someday that never comes. But don't worry, because today you're going to discover 10 simple and powerful tactics that will help you truly declutter and free up space in your home in just 72 hours. It's not magic. You don't need professional help, and it won't cost you anything besides a little courage and willingness. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where to start, how to make quick decisions without regret, and how to keep your home light from now on. If you don't watch until the end, you'll keep postponing this process and wasting precious time looking for things, decluttering what you don't use, and living in a space that no longer represents you. So stay with me until the end, because the change starts now. Look, I know letting go isn't easy. We cling to things for various reasons: memories, fear of needing them in the future, that feeling of waste. But I'll tell you a truth. Keeping what you no longer need isn't saving money, it's wasting space and energy. And the good news is that you don't need to get rid of everything at once. The secret is to divide the process into small steps and make conscious choices. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how to do this practically, without suffering, and with results you'll feel on the very first day. Ready? Then let's go, because the first tactic will already change your perspective on everything you keep at home. Tip 1. The 3-second rule. You know that indecision that paralyzes us when deciding whether to throw something away or not? Well, it's the biggest enemy of letting go. The 3-second rule solves this in a surprisingly simple way. It works like this. Pick up an object and ask yourself if you've used it in the last 6 months. Count to 3. If the answer doesn't come quickly and clearly, it's because you don't need it. Simple as that. Don't let your mind start creating excuses, stories, or improbable future scenarios. 3 seconds. Decide it. Next item. It sounds harsh, but it works because it eliminates the paralysis of analysis. When we overthink, we end up keeping everything out of fear or an unnecessary emotional attachment. This technique forces you to be honest with yourself. Do you really use that coat that's been at the back of your closet for 2 years? That kitchen appliance you got as a gift and never took out of the box? That decoration that no longer matches your style? 3 seconds for each one. And look, at first it may seem difficult, but after about 10 or 15 objects, you get the hang of it and the decisions flow naturally. The secret is not to negotiate with your mind. It will try to convince you that you might need that someday. But the truth is, if you haven't used it in 6 months, you're unlikely to use it in the next 6. And you know what's best? By applying this rule, you realize how much space was being occupied by things that add nothing to your life. Every drawer that empties is a weight less. Every shelf that gains space is a new breath of fresh air. Start with a category of objects such as clothes or kitchen utensils and apply the 3-second rule to each item. You'll be surprised by the amount of things that will leave your house. And best of all, you won't miss any of them. Because if it didn't come to mind in 3 seconds, it's because it wasn't important. This tactic is especially useful for those who have difficulty starting the decluttering process. It removes the emotional weight from the decision and transforms everything into something practical and quick. Try it today. Choose a drawer, take the first item, and count to 3. You'll see how liberating it is. Tip 2. The box of doubt. Now, I know there are things that are harder to discard. That gift from a loved one, that object with a story, that piece you think you might use in the near future. For these cases, there's an intermediate tactic that works very well: the doubt box. Take a cardboard box, like the ones you use for moving, and put everything you can't decide whether to discard or not in it. Everything that leaves you in doubt goes into this box. But pay attention. There's an important rule here. You're going to close this box, write today's date on it with a large pen, and store it in a corner that won't get in the way. It could be on top of the closet, under the bed, or even in the garage. The important thing is that it's out of the way. And now comes the trick. You're going to mark a date in your calendar 3 months from now. When that day arrives, you're going to open the box. And then comes the crucial question. Did you miss anything that was in there during those 3 months? Did you remember it existed? Did you need something and go looking for it in the box? If the answer is no, and believe me, most of the time it's no, you simply donate or discard everything without even opening the box. Because if you've lived 3 whole months without even remembering it existed, it's a sign that you don't really need it. This technique is powerful because it gives you time to process the detachment without the pressure of the moment. Many times we think we'll miss it, but when we put it to the test, we realize it was just psychological attachment. The doubt box works as a transition zone. It helps you detach yourself little by little, without the weight of throwing something important away. And you know what's interesting? Most of the time, when the 3-month deadline arrives, you look at the box and don't even want to open it anymore. You've already moved on. Use this tactic for clothes that no longer fit but have sentimental value, for gifts you don't use but feel guilty about donating, for decorative objects that no longer match your home but that you bought with affection. All of this can go into the doubt box. Just don't make several boxes, because then you're fooling yourself. 1 box only, and respect the deadline. When the 3 months are up, be firm in your decision. Tip 3. The photography method. This tip is for those who have difficulty letting go of things because of the memories. You know what I'm talking about. That outfit you wore on a special occasion, that object that reminds you of someone dear, that trinket you received on an unforgettable trip. The truth is, we don't need to keep the object to keep the memory. The memory is within you, not the thing. And that's where the photography method comes in. Before getting rid of an item with sentimental value, take a picture of it. You can even use your cell phone, it's very simple. Take a picture from several angles if you want. Take a picture of yourself holding the object. Take as many photos as you feel necessary. Then, create a folder on your phone or computer called Memories and save those photos there. Done. You've preserved the memory without taking up physical space in your home. And look, this works much better than it seems. When you feel nostalgic or want to remember, you open the folder and look at the photos again. It's much more practical than rummaging through stored boxes or searching for things in the closet. And there's more. You can even create a beautiful digital album with these photos, adding captions telling the story of each object, the date, the context. This transforms that pile of accumulated things into something organized and easy to revisit. Think of it this way. When you want to remember a trip, you look at the photos from the trip. You don't keep carrying the pebbles from the beach forever, right? The same logic applies to objects. The photo captures the essence of what you want to remember. This method is especially useful for baby clothes that your children have outgrown, for old schoolwork from the children, for cards and letters you've received throughout your life, for decorative objects you no longer use, but that have a story. Photograph, save the image, free up space. You'll realize that after a while, you don't even look at the photos frequently anymore, because what mattered was making the transition from physical attachment. The photo serves as a bridge for you to be able to let go without guilt. Try it today with an item. Choose something you've kept for years just because of the memory. Photograph it with care and then donate or discard it. See how you feel afterwards. I bet it will be a feeling of lightness. And since we're talking about freeing up space and making life lighter, Take this opportunity to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I want to know if these tips are having an impact. Let's continue with the next tactics that will further accelerate this transformation process. Tip 4. The one-in, one-out technique. Now let's talk about a tactic that's not just for this 72-hour process, but that will change your relationship with things from now on. It's called the one-in, one-out technique. It's simple. From now on, whenever you buy, receive, or bring something new into your home, you commit to getting rid of something equivalent. Bought a new piece of clothing? Donate an old one. Received a book? Pass on another book you've already read. Brought a new kitchen utensil? Discard one that's just sitting around. This maintains balance and prevents the house from accumulating again. But look, this technique requires awareness when consuming, because when you know you'll have to give something up, you think twice before bringing something new home. And that's great. It reduces impulsive consumption and makes you value what you already have more. During these 72 hours of decluttering, this mindset will help you make better decisions. You start to realize you don't need so much stuff. Having less is actually having more space, more clarity, more freedom. Apply this to all areas of the house: clothes, shoes, books, decorations, utensils, electronics, everything. If something new comes in, something old needs to go out. And it's not enough to push the old into a hidden corner. It has to truly leave the house. Donate, sell, recycle, discard. This technique works so well because it creates a sustainable system. You're not just doing a one-off cleanup, you're changing habits. And habits are what maintain changes in the long term. Think of this as a golden rule for your home. Once you adopt this principle, it becomes much easier to keep the space organized and free of excess. And there's an interesting bonus. You start to value each purchase more. Each new item that enters your home was consciously chosen, and you know it has a defined place because another one left to make room. There's no longer that feeling of piling things up haphazardly. So, from today on, make this commitment to yourself. One in, one out. Always, without exceptions. You'll see how this transforms not only your home, but also the way you deal with consumption and material goods in general. Tip 5. The 15-minute challenge. This tactic is for those who look at their whole house and feel paralyzed, not knowing where to begin. The 15-minute challenge brilliantly solves this. It works like this. You choose a room, or even just a part of a room, set a 15-minute timer on your phone, and work non-stop until the alarm goes off. 15 minutes of total focus on decluttering. No distractions, no stopping to read that old letter, no reminiscing about stories. Just pick it up, decide, and discard or separate it for donation. When the timer goes off, you stop. It's over. You can rest, drink some water, breathe. And here's the secret. You don't need to do the whole house at once. In fact, you shouldn't. Because when you try to do everything at once, you get tired, discouraged, and end up doing nothing. But 15 minutes, anyone can do it. It's the time it takes for a coffee, a break between tasks. And the result is surprising. In 15 focused minutes, you can empty an entire drawer, clean a shelf, sort several pieces of clothing. It seems like little, but it's a lot. And the best part, you can repeat it as many times as you want throughout the day. Woke up in the morning, 15 minutes. Back from lunch, another 15 minutes before bed, another 15. In 72 hours, if you do just 3 15-minute sessions a day, that's 9 sessions in total. That's 2 hours and 15 minutes of focused decluttering work. You can transform the whole house. And do you know why this technique works so well? Because it creates a feeling of immediate accomplishment. You see the results quickly, and that motivates you to continue. Each 15-minute session is a small victory that propels you to the next. Always choose specific areas. Today, it's the bottom drawer of the wardrobe. Tomorrow morning, it's the bathroom shelf. Tomorrow afternoon, it's the kitchen cabinet. And keep dividing it like that. Don't try to do everything at once. Respect the 15 minutes. And remember, the goal is not to organize, it's to discard. Organizing comes later. Now it's time to get rid of the excess. Use garbage bags or boxes and start separating everything that's going to go. At the end of each session, take the bags outside or place them in a transitional location, such as the garage or balcony, so you won't be tempted to rethink your decisions. Try it today. Grab your phone, choose a quiet corner of the house, and go for it. 15 minutes. You can do it. Tip 6. The duplication rule. Look, this will open your eyes to a problem most people don't even realize they have. Duplication. How many scissors do you have at home? How many pens? How many can openers? How many towels? We accumulate duplicate versions of the same things unnecessarily. And this isn't just a waste of space. It's a waste of money too, because you end up buying something again that you already have just because you can't find it or don't remember. The rule of duplication is simple. You only need 1 or 2 of each item. Of course, there are exceptions like underwear or plates, but in general, you don't need 5 bottle openers, 8 bread knives, or 10 unused notebooks. Do a sweep of the house specifically looking for duplicate items. Look in drawers, cupboards, forgotten corners. You'll be surprised by the number of repeated things you have. Separate only 1 or 2 of each item, those in better condition or those you like the most, and discard or donate the rest. Simple as that. This tactic is especially effective in the kitchen. How many wooden spoons do you actually use? How many cake tins? How many lidless containers? Go through each category of item and apply the rule. And look, it's not worth keeping the extra just in case. If you have one good one and another spare, you're already covered. The 3rd, 4th, 5th are excess. Apply this to your wardrobe too. How many black coats do you need? How many bags of the same style? How many comfortable shoes to wear every day? Keep your favorites and free up the rest. The rule of duplication helps you see the obvious that was invisible, because we get used to excess and stop questioning. But when you put 3 identical things side by side and realize you only use one, it becomes clear that the other 2 are unnecessary weight. And there's a huge practical benefit to this. When you have fewer options, decisions become easier. Less time choosing which to use, less mess to organize, less worry to maintain. It's a real simplification of life. So during these 72 hours, set aside some time to hunt down duplicates. You'll fill bags with things to donate and won't even miss anything, because they were just extra versions of what you already have and use. Simple, practical, and super efficient. Tip 7. The complete category method. Now let's talk about a different approach, which works very well for certain types of objects. Instead of cleaning room by room, you'll gather everything of the same category in one place and declutter all at once. For example, take all the towels in the house, from all the closets and bathrooms, and put them on a bed or on the living room floor. All of them. When you see the total volume of towels you own, it clicks. You realize the excess. Then it becomes easier to decide how many you really need and which ones you can donate. The same thing with clothes. Take all the shirts out of the closet from all the drawers and put them in one pile. You'll be shocked by the quantity. And when they're all together, it becomes obvious which ones you never use, which ones are old or stained, which ones are redundant. Do this with books too. Gather all the books in the house in one corner and evaluate. How many will you actually reread? How many are just taking up space? This method works because it forces you to face the reality of accumulation. When things are scattered, the mind doesn't register the total. But when you put it all together, the visual impact is strong, and that impact makes the decision easier. Apply this to categories like shoes, cleaning products, expired or nearly expired medications, old electronics, wires, and cables. Gather everything at once, assess the whole thing, and be honest. Do you need all of this? Of course, this method takes a little more work at the beginning because you have to gather everything, but the result is worth it. Because in a single session, you tackle an entire category. You don't need to go back to it later. It's done. And that gives you a real sense of progress. Start with the easiest categories, like cleaning products or kitchen utensils, and gradually gain confidence. Then you move on to more emotional categories like clothes or books. But the logic is always the same. Gather everything, visualize the volume, decide what you really need, and discard the rest without hesitation. This technique is powerful and will make you question many of your consumption habits. Because when you see that you have 15 different cleaning products when you only use 3, you realize you're wasting money and space. Use this awareness to change things from now on as well. Tip 8. The immediate donation list. This tactic is for those who have difficulty letting go of things because they keep thinking, but this is still good, I can use it. And it's true, a lot of the things we accumulate are still in perfect condition. But if you don't use them, what's the point of keeping them? The immediate donation list solves this by creating a clear purpose for letting go. Grab a pen and paper or open a note on your phone and make a list of places or people who could benefit from your things. It could be a charity, a thrift store that donates its proceeds to social causes, a friend who is furnishing a house, a neighbor with young children. When you have specific destinations in mind, it becomes much easier to get rid of things because you know that it will be useful, it will make a difference in someone's life, and that takes away the guilt. You're not throwing it away, you're passing it on. So while you're decluttering, start separating things by destination. A box for the charity, a bag for a friend, a pile for the thrift store. And here's a golden tip. Set a date and time to make the donation. Put it on the calendar. Because if you leave the bags sitting at home waiting for the right moment, they'll stay there forever, and you might even change your mind. Schedule it, take it, and that's it. Once you leave home, you don't come back. And you know what's great? Many institutions pick up donations from your home. You don't even need to leave. Just call, arrange it, and they'll come to you. No excuses. It makes everything easier. Use your immediate donation list as motivation. Each item you set aside is a possibility to help someone. That coat you no longer use can warm someone. That book sitting on the shelf can educate a child. That forgotten appliance can make a family's life easier. Think about it and put your pride aside. It doesn't matter if the item was expensive or a special gift. If you don't use it, it deserves a new home where it will be valued. This thought liberates, so make your list now. Research charities in your city, ask friends if anyone needs anything, look for donation groups online. There are many people who want and need the things you have left over in your house. Be the bridge, donate, release, move on. Before we continue, let me tell you something quick. If you want to have a clean, organized, and fragrant home without wasting hours of your day or spending money on expensive products, I've prepared a complete guide with easy homemade recipes, a weekly checklist, and professional tricks that really work. The link is in the first pinned comment. Now let's continue with the video. Tip 9. The substitute test. This tactic is especially useful for those who keep things just in case. You know that "what if I need it someday" reasoning? Well, the substitute test dismantles that. It works like this. Take the object you're unsure whether to discard and ask yourself, if I need this in the future and I don't have it anymore, can I easily replace it? How much does it cost to buy it again? How long does it take to get another one? In most cases, the answer is yes, I can easily replace it and it's not expensive. And then the decision becomes clear. It doesn't make sense to keep something for years taking up space if, in the unlikely event that you need it, you can solve the problem quickly. For example, that waffle maker you used once 3 years ago. If one day you feel like making waffles again, you can borrow one, buy a new one, or simply make the recipe in a different way. It's not worth keeping it taking up space in the closet for a remote possibility. Or that piece of clothing that no longer fits but you keep because what if I lose weight? Even if you lose weight, you'll probably want new clothes in the current style, not that old one from years ago. And if you really want to use it, you can buy it again. The cost of some items is so low compared to the opportunity cost of losing space in your home that it's not worth keeping them. And there's another powerful question in this test. In the last 2 years, have you needed this? If the answer is no, what is the real chance of needing it in the next 2? Be honest. Apply the replacement test to tools you never use, specific kitchen utensils, clothes of different sizes, decorative objects that no longer match your style, old electronics that have been replaced by better versions. Always ask yourself, can I replace it if I need to? And let go. This test brings an important rationality to the decluttering process, because many times we keep things on autopilot without really thinking about their usefulness or the probability of future use. And when you stop to analyze it with this question, it becomes clear that it's irrational attachment. So use this mental tool during these 72 hours. It will accelerate your decisions and give you the confidence to let go of what needs to be let go. And look, in the worst case scenario, if one day you really need something you donated and have to buy it again, it won't be the end of the world. It will be a rare one-off situation, and the cost will still be less than living for years with a cluttered house. Think about it. Let go. Tip 10. The final commitment. Now we arrive at the final tactic, and this is the one that will seal the entire process. After applying all the other techniques during these 72 hours, you will have a much lighter, more spacious, and breathable home. But to ensure you don't revert to old habits, you need to make a final commitment to yourself. And this commitment has 3 very simple parts. First part, every month, on the same day, you will set aside half an hour to do a quick review. It can be the 5th, the 15th, the day you prefer. But mark it on the calendar and keep your promise. In that half hour, you go through the main rooms and ask yourself, has anything new been brought in that shouldn't be there? Is there anything that has stopped being useful and can be removed? It's preventative maintenance. Just like you do with your car, with your health. The house needs it too. Second part of the commitment. Whenever you feel that urge to buy something new, wait 24 hours before buying. Set a reminder on your phone. If after a whole day you still think you really need it, then you buy it. But you'll see that most of the time the urge passes. It was just an impulse. And this protects your home from accumulating clutter again. And the third part, which is the most important, share this process with someone. It could be a friend, a family member, even someone online. But tell someone that you're on this journey of living with less and more intentionally. Because when you verbalize it, you truly commit. And when someone knows, it's harder to back out. This person can even give you a little push when you're unsure about getting rid of something. Write this commitment on a piece of paper and stick it somewhere visible in your house. It could be on the refrigerator, the bathroom mirror, the closet door. Somewhere you see it every day, and remember that you made a promise to yourself. The promise to live lighter, to value space instead of accumulating things, to consciously choose what enters your life. This final commitment transforms the decluttering of a one-off event into a life philosophy, and that's what guarantees long-term results. Because there's no point in cleaning now and then having everything cluttered again in 6 months. The change has to be sustainable. and it's only sustainable when it becomes a habit, when it becomes a mindset. So take a deep breath. Look at your home after these 72 hours and celebrate. You did it. You took control of your space. You decided to live better. Now it's just a matter of maintaining it, and with this final commitment, you will maintain it. So, we've reached the end of this video, and I want to reinforce what you've just learned. You saw that it's entirely possible to transform your home in just 3 days using simple yet powerful tactics. The 3-second rule for quick decisions. The doubt box for processing decluttering without pressure. The photography method for preserving memories without accumulating objects. The one-in, one-out technique for maintaining balance going forward. The 15-minute challenge for starting without feeling overwhelmed. The duplication rule for eliminating invisible excess. The complete category method for facing the reality of clutter. The immediate donation list for giving purpose to decluttering. The substitute test for making rational decisions. And the final commitment to transform all of this into lasting change. All these tactics together create a complete decluttering system that truly works. It's not theory, it's tested practice. And best of all, you don't need professional help. You don't need to spend money. You don't need complicated techniques. You just need the willingness and the right strategies, which you already have now. So don't leave it for tomorrow. Start today. Choose a tactic, apply it, feel the difference, and then incorporate the others in the coming days. In 72 hours, you'll look at your house and won't believe the transformation. More space, more lightness, more mental clarity. And now I want to ask you a question. What's the first area of your house you're going to start decluttering? Tell me in the comments. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and activate the bell to receive the next videos with more practical tips to make your life easier. Share this video with someone who also needs to declutter and start living lighter. Let's spread this message. Before finishing, I want to remind you of something important. If you want to have a house that's always clean, organized, and smells good without wasting hours of your day and without spending money on expensive products, I've prepared a complete guide with simple homemade recipes, a weekly checklist, and professional tricks that really work. The link is in the first pinned comment. It's worth checking out to transform your routine in a practical and economical way. And now, go ahead and start your transformation. You can do it. I believe in you. Until the next video.